Jade, come here. Come here, good girl. Come here. Up. Good girl, up. Come here. Good morning, everybody. Jade and I went for a run this morning. Sorry for all the shaky, camera footage and the heavy breathing on my part. It's been a minute since we ran, but Jade and I are gonna get some breakfast, and then we need to go get some hay and some feed for the horses. It's gonna be a busy day. It's gonna be a hot day, so we're gonna get at it early this morning. Well, that's pretty cool. It's not very often that you see a world champ in town. I don't know about where you live and what the conditions are right now, but this week in Texas it has been ridiculously hot, like 3 or 4 days in a row of 100 plus degrees, and for some reason I decided to wait till 11:30 today to go pick up hay and then unload it. So that's cool. I'll get a good sweat in here in a second. But a few years ago I did a video about how much it costs to own a horse, and from that time obviously things have changed quite a bit. So I wanted to just kind of run through my feed bill today, how much it costs for Coastal, for Alfalfa, and for Equine Senior. That way if you are looking into getting a horse, you kind of know generally an idea of how much it costs. And so yeah, let's get into it. I've got to unload some hay first, and then we can get into the details. It is very, very warm. So this is the feed room, obviously, and this section is my horses, and then the other horses have their section. Today I went and bought 8 Coastal bales. I went and bought 2 Alfalfa bales, and then I went and bought the Purina Senior, which is what both of my horses get fed. I typically go and buy between 6 and 8 bales of Coastal every 2.5 weeks. I always buy 2 Alfalfa bales, and then I always buy 2 Purina Senior bags. The Coastal, it really just depends on how much time they're spending in their runs versus being out in the pasture. If they're spending a lot of time out in the pasture, then we don't feed them as much Coastal, and so this will kind of last a little bit longer. So I would say between 2.5 weeks, and sometimes it can even be 3 weeks, that I go and buy all of this. So everything that I'm going to talk about in this video is kind of like on a 2 to 3 week cycle. So usually 2 times a month am I going and buying feed. And yeah, so it lasts quite a bit, especially if they're being turned out in the pasture a lot, which they are right now. Then this kind of, lasts a little bit longer. It's actually pretty nice here in the shade. If we had a little bit of a breeze, it'd be even better. But all the horses are turned out right now, and so it's nice and quiet. And it's nice to just kind of relax here for a second. Ooh, there's a little bit of a breeze. This barn aisle gets a little bit of a breeze, so if you stay in here long enough, you might catch it. Okay, I have my receipt here for how much feed I bought today. Now, keep in mind that this is what I do about twice a month. So for the 8 bales of Coastal, it's $12.50 per bale, which comes out to an even $100 for this Coastal that I just picked up. I picked up 2 bales of Alfalfa at $18.50 per bale. That comes out to $37 even. And then 2 bags of the Purina Equine Senior, their 50-pound bags, is $29.40 per bag, which comes out to $58.80. All told with tax, $195.80. So if I'm doing that twice a month, that's roughly $200 per horse, which is not terrible. But if you're new to horses or you're getting into horses and you don't quite know, that is what it is roughly for me right now, and that's not including farrier or any vet bills or anything like that. So that is just strictly for feed if you're feeding literally exactly what I'm feeding now. Now that will change depending on how much my horses are going out. So if they're going out quite a bit, then the coastal will last a little bit longer. If they're not going out as much, then it may run out a little bit quicker. So you just kind of have to, you know, play with that a little bit. It's a little bit on a sliding scale, but at least it gives you a good idea. The boys are turned out, getting a little bit of pasture time before it gets too terribly hot. Smoke's down there in the shade, and then Blue's kind of down there too. I was gonna go walk out there and see them, but they're all the way at the far end of the pasture, and it's too far to walk right now. They love it out there, I tell you what. Want to tell everybody why you didn't go to the show this weekend?
Oh, yes. Well, I should be in Houston right now showing. Hopefully would have already earned my last qualifying score for training level regionals yesterday. However, the high temperatures in Houston were forecasted well over 100 with heat index anywhere from like 106 to 108, and Ryder is super heat sensitive and I am super heat sensitive, and while I can go in the camper and cool off, Ryder has to stand all day in a stall with 2 fans that are only blowing hot air continually. And therefore, I made the decision that it was probably best to scratch for the safety of both of us.
Yeah, so just kind of tacking onto that a little bit. Usually during the week we like to go to at least one practice session, but honestly I just kind of canceled the practice for this week just because it was so hot. Even though it's an indoor arena, it's just so terribly hot inside, and I just didn't want to do that to Blue. So I've been getting up early in the mornings, kind of like we're doing this morning, and just kind of exercising Blue and working on him a little bit while it's still a little bit cooler, because once it gets to probably like 10:30, 11 o'clock, all the way till, I mean, shoot, even 8:30, it's just so terribly hot. Last night at 8:30, it was like 90, 95 degrees at least. So we're just trying to be a little bit more cautious, and so that's why Maddie scratched. He's like, hey, would you get over here and ride me? It's already getting warm.
Yeah.
That peacock is going crazy over there.
Isn't there a Katy Perry song about that?
Do what?
Isn't there a Katy Perry song about that?
About a peacock?
Yes. I don't think it's appropriate though.
I don't know. You'd know better than I would.
I'm pretty sure. Blue has easily the best tail out of any of our horses. It is the thickest tail, and it like naturally curls, which I think helps keep it intact. Pro tip: we never trim any of our horses' tails, or I'm sorry, we never brush any of our horses' tails unless we're going to like a big team roping or a horse show or a dressage clinic, and I think that really helps keep it luxuriously thick.
Yeah, I mean, we make sure that it doesn't like get matted or anything, but he doesn't have any mats in it. It just kind of comes in these, what do you call them, trindles?
Yes.
So yeah, but once we do, it gets like crazy luscious and full. But yeah, don't overly do it, because all you do is rip out hair. I mean, it looks good, but you end up having to pull a whole bunch of hair out of a comb. So
okay, let's go ride.
Okay, so in the interest of time, I think I'm just gonna hop on here and
Thank
walk
you.
down.
Sounds good. This is like an ad for Starbucks.
No, it is not. No, it is not.
Good choice. Coffee in one hand, gate in the other.
One thing I like to practice every once in a while is shutting gates. There's like an old cowboy saying that a man should never have to get off of a horse to shut a gate. So, you know, you should be able to pass, you know, side pass into a gate to open it or shut it without having to get off your horse. So, days like today where we just kind of practice some of those little things. So that way, whenever you get to a branding or working cows or a seam roughing or whatever, that it's not foreign to your horse.
Blue's a professional.
Uh-huh.
Blue is a professional.
Oh, yeah.
Starbucks? No? Hey. Smoke gets to go to work today.
Smoke doesn't want to go fast at all.
Hey, you with the little legs.
So yeah, what about me?
Come on. Go on.